Hi, it's Mark from CK Magazine. Today's show is brought to you by CK Direct, the home of commercial extraction. Now, you definitely do not want the manual, right? It's only when I sit back and look at something from a distance, in fact, when anybody sits back and looks at anything from a distance, things become so much clearer. Now, 6 months ago, I spent a couple of months putting together a pretty comprehensive training for a bunch of people. Now, I won't share the details of the training as it's still private, but it was for a client and it was in a completely unrelated niche. Although marketing's marketing, right? Anyhow, the training consisted of 4 webinars. Each one is about an hour long, and we ran these 4 webinars over a month or so. Now, we had approximately 90 people on each session, and each one had paid for the privilege of being on the webinar. So, come 6 months later, after doing a bit of research, I did a little final check on who of the people who attended had actually implemented the training that they had received. Now, you're not going to be too surprised when I tell you that it was a tiny fraction, it was a small proportion, and I was pretty disappointed about that. However, I really should have known better. You see, after reflection and a little more research, I've sort of come to a conclusion that it's the normal sort of de facto for the vast majority to sit and learn, to consume information, but actually not to implement. And I don't believe anybody is 100% immune from this, including, myself. Now, distraction is all around every day, especially working on the internet as I do. There's always the inbox plinking away, and it's also easy to get carried off into a time suck. Those dancing babies and that cinnamon challenge, we can blame YouTube. But getting serious, I think that the time's come that training products, manuals, impenetrable courses, how-tos, and all that stuff that's litters the internet, and some of it's freely available, some of it is obviously paid for, but it's all a very large time suck. It's a distraction. And it is, for the vast majority of business owners, something that may well make them feel like they're making progress, may well make them feel like they're moving forward, but in fact, it's just a distraction. It takes up their time, their mental energy, and of course, their willpower. Now, what's really going on is people are being distracted away from where their passion probably already lies. If it's running a restaurant, if it's running a large catering business, if it's just running a business, then that's where they should be spending their time. I recently wrote about paying a professional rather than doing a job yourself. And what could take, a few hours for a professional could take weeks for somebody like you or me to get their head around it and to understand all the nuances, especially if it's technical, something to do with this new internet and social media, etc. Now, here's a quick story. In another life, I owned a small building company, electrical and plastering contractors, and one of our plastering contractors failed to show. And I went down to the unit. I thought to myself, well, how hard could it possibly be to slap some plastering mud on a wall? Well, as it happens, it's pretty easy to get onto the wall, and the hard bit is getting the bugger flat. Now, I could have gone and bought the book, spent a couple of months, couple of weeks, whatever. I could have gone on a course. I could buy all the tools. I could practice at home while the kids and the family are having a good time, watching films and having a good time. If I really wanted to learn, if it was something that I really wanted to do, something I was really passionate about, then you know what? What I should probably do is find somebody to do it with me, to show me. Someone who is already good at what I want to learn. A professional. I can copy their technique and they can critique me as I go along. And this style of learning is brilliant for learning a skill, for learning a trade. However, it's very hard to learn how to plaster a wall, a ceiling or whatever from a book. Now, here's where I feel the real opportunity lies today. If you're reading this far into the post, hopefully this will give you a great insight and it will make your time worthwhile listening to this show, reading this article. If you're selling anything like training, books or information, and if you're a consultant, it's not the how-to that you really should be selling. Nobody needs another impenetrable manual, workbooks, worksheets and all the other things that prolific amount of information. Rather, it should be the let's do something together that you should be looking to sell, or even better yet, the I'll do it for you. You see, if you've got a magic button or a team of professionals that can carry out a task that I'm not competent to carry out, it's easier and it's better for me to concentrate on what is my skill, what is my core skill. If it's running my business, it's running my business, while somebody professional can get on with the job at hand, worry about all the technical and the nuances of marketing, etc. So I hope that helps. My name's Mark. This show is brought to you again by ckdirect.co.uk, the home of commercial extraction. If you like or you want to give me a comment, just head on over to the comments, leave a comment on the post over at ckmagazine.co.uk. Obviously, we love reviews, so if you would love to give us a review over on iTunes, that would be marvellous. You can head on over there and give us a review. If you want to download the magazine, now the magazine's full of articles, videos, audios, etc., and the new June edition's pretty much in the can. I'm really looking forward to speaking to a few people in the near future just to tidy up those last few articles. I hope you're going to enjoy it. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe, and head on over to ckmagazine.co.uk where you can do exactly that. My name's Mark and I'll see you guys next week.